Happy Friday, everybody. Nope, let's try that again. Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Thor from the Happy Campers team, and today I'm going to be talking about what not to bring on your Iceland trip. So here we go. So you have an Iceland trip coming up and you are making a packing list. You might have even read some blog posts about what to bring to Iceland, like ours on the Happy Campers blog, giving you lots of good tips. You know, you've heard the word layers a lot, I assume. But let's do something more fun today and let's talk about the things you should not bring on your Iceland trip. Number 1, a lantern. Don't get me wrong, during the winter time in Iceland especially, there's a lot of darkness and you'll definitely need a light. Bring a good headlamp, for example, but a lantern in a more traditional camping sense is what you'll have when you're hanging out outside, you know, cooking up dinner or just enjoying the night. In Iceland, that's not really something you gotta worry about, because if you're hanging out outside, it's going to be in the summertime and you'll have 24-hour daylight. And during the wintertime, I hate to break it to you, but you will not be hanging out outside playing cards or playing the guitar. Don't worry about that lantern. It takes up more space and it's just not that useful. When you're inside, you're going to be using the reading light that comes with the Happy Campers van, for example. And when you're outside, you can just use your headlamp. Number 2, umbrellas. The umbrella business is not doing very well in Iceland, and that's for a very good reason. There's a lot of wind in Iceland. Iceland is very windy, and you'll figure that out real quick when you get there. So anything that doesn't do very well in wind, you better just leave it home or it'll come back with you in pieces. Number 3, fire gear. If you are imagining setting up camp and building that campfire, you might be disappointed because in Iceland we don't really have that campfire culture. So any sort of products that you would normally bring to build a campfire, you should just leave at home. Number 4, hammock. So hammocks can be awesome, you know, when the weather's nice, just hanging out in a hammock in the breeze. That sounds great, right? But in Iceland, we mostly do field camping and we don't have a lot of trees in general, so good luck finding a place to set up your hammock. And that's even when the weather is nice, which, to be honest, is not that often. So let's just leave that hammock at home. Number 5, sunscreen. So Iceland is one of the cloudiest countries in the world. We have so much cloud coverage and not a lot of clear skies. So bringing sunscreen doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The only time it might come in handy is if you're planning on doing long glacier hikes or, you know, spending a lot of time on ice, because that reflection can cause some sunburn. But if that's not the case, you can probably just leave the sunscreen at home. Number 6, bug spray. We don't have mosquitoes in Iceland, which is great, and we generally don't have any biting insects, so bringing that bug spray is probably not a good idea. Having said that, in the past couple of years, we've had this rise of biting midges. They can be really annoying, and using bug spray can be effective fighting against those. But that's a relatively new phenomenon, and most likely you won't encounter them in Iceland. What I would recommend instead is bringing a fly net, because if you're spending a lot of time in places like Mývatn, you can experience the swarm of the gnats, or me. And having fly net is pretty much the only thing you can do to keep your sanity and making sure that they don't fly into your nostrils and ears and eyes and anywhere else. So bring that fly net and keep the bug spray at home. Number 7, food. Some of our customers, and a lot of people in general, they bring a lot of food with them. They might be afraid that they won't find, you know, their favorite brands, or that Iceland just doesn't have a lot of food options in general. In my experience, a lot of people come to regret this decision. First of all, getting through customs can be a hassle. But second of all, Iceland does have maybe more options than people realize. I recommend shopping at Bónus og Krónan, 2 of the cheapest and best grocery store options here in Iceland. Stock up that way and just don't worry about food. You don't have to get into the import business. And finally, number 8, cash. I've talked about how having some cash can be useful in Iceland, especially at campsites when you might need to pay some coins to get access to showers or other facilities, but having a lot of cash doesn't make much sense in Iceland. 99% of businesses take, your major credit cards, and some of them, just like in the US or Europe, even accept, Google Pay, Apple Pay, things like that. So carrying a lot of cash because you're afraid of not being able to get goods and services in Iceland doesn't make sense. Have some cash with you just in case, but don't fill up your pockets. All right, guys, that's it for today's Happy Friday video. If you have any more examples of things you regretted bringing to Iceland, let's see it in the comments. Also, if you have some suggestions on future Happy Friday videos, we would love to hear from you, and we can make videos on that in the near future. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Happy travels, and I'll see you next time.